Hi guys, today we are going to talk about our foxy friend Grizzly and I hope you like it.
Few people know that the gray grizzly bear, which has a huge size, as well as foxes, dogs and raccoons evolved from the same ancestor who lived about 30 million years ago in what is now Europe, was no bigger than a medium-sized dog and could climb trees. During evolutionary development, new bear species appeared, but by now some of them are extinct, such as the largest cave bear. Gradually, bears evolved from a small animal into the largest predator on the planet. People have a fear of this animal, but this animal prefers plant food and will never attack first unless necessary. As a rule, the gray grizzly chooses to live in harsh, inaccessible places where it is not disturbed by human proximity. Alaska and northern Canada are the primary habitat for 98% of these mammals. Smaller populations live in the northern United States, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana, and even Washington. The Rockies and Cascade Mountains are also sometimes their refuge. They are also found in Alaska and a bit in Canada. By the beginning of the last century, the population of this bear species was about 100,000. The reason for the sharp decline in the population was excessive aggressiveness. The predator began to destroy livestock and even attack humans. The result was a mass shooting. The total number of grizzlies decreased by almost 30 times. Today the grizzly is listed in the International Red Book. To preserve their numbers, special national parks, USA, have been set up. At the moment there are about 50,000 animals. Due to the increase in the population, the country's authorities allow seasonal hunting of grizzlies. Attacks of the animal on humans, which lead to death, are recorded more than once. According to scientists, the aggression is caused by thoughtless actions of people when the predator eats or defends its territory. The gray bear is among the 10 animals on the planet that stand out for their ferocity and aggressiveness. The muscular body of one of the largest animals is covered with thick brown fur. The grizzly's back and shoulder blades are silvery gray, so from the outside, the animal's hue takes on a gray color. Hence its name, the gray bear, comes from. The size of the grizzly bear is quite impressive. If he stands on his hind legs, his height will be about 3 meters. The weight of the male grizzly bear is about 500 kilograms, the female's 350 kilograms. The population of the largest grizzly bear lives on Kodiak Island, which is located near Alaska. The weight of its individuals is about 800 kilograms. On the massive head of the bear are small ears and small eyes. The animal has poor eyesight, but his hearing and sense of smell are well developed. The animal has short but very strong paws, and the front ones are shorter than the back ones. The Siberian brown bear and the grizzly bear are very similar, but the latter is much stronger and stronger. Only grizzly cubs are able to climb trees. Adults are hampered by their 13 centimeters curved claws, which grow as the animal grows older. Grizzly character and lifestyle. A characteristic trait of the gray bear is its fearlessness. The combination of this trait with enormous strength practically deprives his enemies of a chance to win. The prey will be torn apart in a matter of minutes by its strong teeth and powerful claws. An animal can easily handle a wild bison, while domestic cattle have just a panicked fear of it. If we theoretically imagine the possibility of a fight between a grizzly bear and a lion, it is impossible to name a winner for sure. The bear has incredible strength, but the lion has many other advantages: agility, reaction and jumping distance. The bear has no fear of humans and can kill them with one blow. The ferocious animal also attacks armed people, especially if it is wounded. In the case of thaw, the animal leaves the dwelling and looks for food. When frost resumes, it returns back and falls asleep again until warmer weather arrives. It has been estimated that bears sleep for half of their lives. Nutrition. After the end of hibernation, bears begin to search hard for food. These members of the group of predators are omnivores. Gray bears prefer plant food, and carrion is also a grizzly's food. They can smell it from a distance of 30 kilometers. A deer killed by a bear provides food for a week. However, the animal prefers to hunt sick, weaker young animals. Fish is a delicacy for grizzly bears. During the salmon spawning season, bears gather in groups on the shore and divide the catching areas among themselves. They catch fish with their mouths or with their broad paws. Some bears manage to catch it on the fly, when it jumps out of the water. Honey is mostly spoiled by sweet-toothed cubs, because at a young age they can climb a tree. Before the winter hibernation, the bear begins polygaphia, a feeling of constant hunger. This is understandable, because before going to sleep, The bear needs to gain as much food as possible. To do this, the animal must eat 20,000 calories daily. After a good meal, the animal rests. It secludes itself in canyons or a temporary dwelling that it lays out in grass. The grizzly's mating season lasts from late spring to early summer. Using scent and tags on plants, males begin searching for females who are ready to mate. The animals spend a few days together and separate. The egg may be fertilized not immediately, but after a certain time, depending on the emergence of favorable conditions for the birth of offspring. Before that, the sperm is in the uterine cavity. 2-3 cubs are born in the middle of winter. Newborn cubs are born absolutely helpless, without fur, without teeth, and blind, weighing up to 800 grams. When you see the babies, you would never think that in a couple of years they will be big grizzly bears. That's why at first the mother doesn't leave them alone. A bear's milk is much more nutritious than a woman's breast milk. It is formed by the fat reserves accumulated during the summer. Babies are breastfed for 6 months. At the end of April or beginning of May, the cubs come out of the house for the first time. They are always near their mother, who begins to teach them about life. Springtime is dangerous for the cubs. Polar bears and grizzly bears are bear species that differ greatly in a number of ways. However, in rare cases, mating is possible between the two, which eventually produces offspring. Polar grizzlies were first discovered by American hunters, and since 1974, have been born in zoos. These bears are fertile hybrids, meaning they can have offspring. They can easily crossbreed with each other, as well as with their parent species. Human fear exaggerates the aggressiveness and malice of these animals. If you are attentive to the world around you and do not harm it, you can coexist well with all the inhabitants of the planet. Go to the channel and watch other videos.